Joining us now is Jimmy Pethokoukis, economic policy analyst at the American Enterprise Institute. And what I guess, Jimmy, is starting to feel like kind of an annual rite of passage where we talk about a potential government shutdown here. Sadly, the two sides are going to play politics. Yeah. Ultimately, how does this play out?
Yeah, listen, I don't think we're going to get a shutdown, at the end of the month. But like that 70% number, if you're going to say, will there be a shutdown between now and the end of the year? That very well might happen. There's actually, there's a pretty big gap here between what the president wants, what Democrats want. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars over 10 years. It's pretty significant. And I think also complicating it, as you alluded to earlier, was that Democrats are being pushed by their base to show a pulse, to fight. And if they decide to fight over something right now, whether it's health care cuts or whether it's that $5 billion rescission foreign aid that the president doesn't want to spend, if they make that decision, it'll be a bold decision. If something like that should happen, it could be a long shutdown. And I don't know about you, but you have an economy uncertain about tariffs, uncertain about AI. An extended government shutdown would not seem to be what the economy needs right now.
No, when you've also got the DOGE cuts, some of the federal spending cuts from earlier in the year, and I know a lot of our viewers that they've watched D.C. grow unfettered for 30 years. Different views on that. That's whatever. We'll leave the politics out of it. But the reality is that, to your point, Jimmy, I feel like adding in, by the way, tariff uncertainty, markets don't like it. Bond markets don't like it. Stock markets don't like it. We want to know what's going on. There's always uncertainty. It's just kind of that level of what we know that matters.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, I think you would like to believe that your elected leaders are competent, can solve the problems that you're concerned about. And so, yes, so a shutdown goes against that. But also consider, what would the shutdown be about? If the Democrats decide to fight about this $5 billion that the president doesn't want to spend and, rather than let it play out in the course, if they want to make that an issue, okay, that's fine. But is that the big issue? We're sitting here with rising debt, bigger than the economy, and our elected leaders are fighting about a $5 billion in foreign aid that won't be spent. It just seems like when Congress is focused on fighting, they're fighting on things that probably seem fairly removed from the concerns of everyday voters.
Yeah, you live there. You live in Virginia, around the Beltway. Tell us why. I mean, because it plays well in certain parts of the media, does it not? I mean, that's the thing. You get up in front. And by the way, there's 535 members of Congress. We hear from 8 of them. I would hope and imagine that the bulk majority, 500 plus, are just kind of quietly going about their job to solve problems like you referenced. And a few of them, both parties, love microphones.
Well, the classic sort of political science division is you have your show horses who go on TV, and then the rest are all these workhorses who are sort of grinding away, getting stuff done. I think that balance has become far more unbalanced, where you have people who really do like to go on TV or on podcasts or on social media and get the base excited. So the incentives are all wrong because you're rewarded for being sort of inflammatory, not sort of doing the hard work on, entitlement reform or something like that. It's so the incentives are wrong, and this is what we get, which is, as you mentioned, a regular cycle of shutdown or at least shutdown threats.